right, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the December 12th, 2024 meeting of the Greenville City Council. I'm Mayor P.J. Connolly. I'm presiding over tonight's meeting. First, I'd like to call on Mayor Pro Tem Daniels for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to call forth Pastor Brandon Dawson of Peace Church.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Let us pray together, shall we? Gracious God, we thank you first and foremost for allowing us to make it through this day, to come together, to gather together, seeking your genius and your wisdom as it pertains to the things of this city. Father God, I pray for this leadership aggregate body that you would bless them with your collective genius and the humility to accept what your will is, to hear from you clearly and to execute those things that you would have to come forth from these proceedings, Father. Lord God, we lift them up individually and collectively as service oftentimes doesn't always have the spoils attached with it. These individuals have invested so much of their time and so much of their treasure and talent to serve this city. I pray that you would allow them to find rest and reprieve and confirmation in knowing that them serving this city is great gain, not only for the city, but for them individually. God, we pray for this city as many of us in this holiday window are wrestling with several moments of firsts without loved ones. While the rest of the world is rejoicing, many of us are trying to reconcile what it is to open up presents without that loved one being here to watch us do so. And so I pray that you would send a special grace that would aid and comfort those of us who are in moments of mourning and bereavement, remembering that your word declares that blessed are they that mourn, for they would be comforted. God, we also selfishly pray in my conclusion for all of the council members, but one council member in particular, Mr. Scullery. God, he's got a restaurant here in the city with delicious cinnamon French toast. And it is my goal to no longer be a chubby pastor. So, God, I pray that you would allow your genius to be Matt's as well, to allow him to create a version without as many calories, because I'm not willing to part not eating them. There's so many people around me, God, that talk about losing weight, and it's my testimony to present that I've been finding it all. And so I pray, God, that you would bless Matt to have a delicious French toast, cinnamon, without the calories. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, hey, been up here 9 years. That was the best one I've ever heard. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Mayor Connolly.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Daniels.
present.
Councilmember Foreman.
Here.
Councilmember Blackburn.
Present.
Councilmember Scully.
Here.
Councilmember Robinson.
Here.
Councilmember Willis.
Here.
All right, Mayor Connolly, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll now move on to the approval of tonight's agenda. Mr. Manager.
Changes, Mayor?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilmember Blackburn, second by Councilmember Scully. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, we'll move on to the public comment period. The public comment period is a period reserved for comments by the public. Items that were or are scheduled to be the subject of a public hearing conducted at this meeting or another meeting during the same week shall not be discussed. A total of 30 minutes is allocated, with each individual being allowed no more than 3 minutes. Individuals who registered with the city clerk to speak will speak in the order registered until the 30 minutes expires. If time remains after all persons who have registered have spoken, individuals who did not register will have an opportunity to speak until the allotted 30 minutes expires. Madam Clerk, our first speaker.
We do not have any registered speakers, Mayor Connolly.
Anyone that would like to speak during the public comment period, please come forward, state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll close public comment period. We'll move on to appointments. Madam Clerk.
Okay, yes, sir. First appointment is the Board of Adjustment, Councilmember Blackburn.
I will continue that one. That's just a recent vacancy, so I'll continue it.
Okay. Next is the Historic Preservation Commission, Councilmember Blackburn.
I will continue those as well.
Okay.
Have fun
Next
tonight.
is the Human Relations Council, Councilmember Willis.
No appointments at this time.
Man, I like this.
Okay. Next is the Police Community Relations Committee. Just a reminder, this is a direct appointment, don't need a second or a vote. Councilmember Foreman.
One more month.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
all planned that,
Councilmember
right?
Blackburn.
I'd like to appoint Jonathan Wacker, please.
Jonathan Wacker, okay. Appointment made.
Congratulations, Mr. Wacker. Is it Dr. Wacker? Is it Mr. Wacker?
Doctor.
I thought it was Dr. yeah.
Doctor, okay.
Coolest name for a drummer.
That's right,
There's
Dr.
a
Wacker.
Finally, we have the Youth Council, Councilmember Willis.
Yes, I would like to appoint Mr. Jacob Alston.
Second.
All right, motion been made by Councilmember Willis, second by Mayor Pro Tem Daniels. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
All right, motion passes 6-0.
Congratulations, Mr. Alston.
That concludes the appointments.
All right, that means we are going to move on to old business. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 2, under old business, ordinance requested by Ren Sport Motor Works LLC to rezone 1.52 acres located along the western right-of-way of Port Terminal Road and 400 plus minus feet north of East 10th Street from RA20 Residential Agriculture to CH Heavy Commercial. Now call forward our city planner, Chris Kelly, for the presentation.
Okay. So this request is located in, I grabbed the wrong folder, I'm sorry. So this property is located in the eastern part of the city. More specifically, this property is located along the western right-of-way of Port Terminal Road and 400 feet north of East 10th Street. On the map here, you can see Lowe's indicated by that text box. This is an image of the property taken on Port Terminal Road. To your left will be East 10th Street. This is a survey of the property totaling 1.52 acres. The property drains through the Hardy Creek watershed. If stormwater rules apply, it would require 10-year detention, nitrogen and phosphorus reduction. The property is not located in the special flood hazard area, and no jurisdictional wetland streams and riparian buffers exist on the property. The requested zoning could generate a net increase of 10 trips per day. This property is currently zoned RA20. Under the current zoning, the site could accommodate 2 single-family lots. Under the proposed zoning of CH or heavy commercial, the site could accommodate 13,000 square feet of major repair. And just to the north here, that red is heavy commercial that was rezoned back in 2018. The future land use and character map recommends commercial at the northwestern corner of the intersection of East 10th Street and Port Terminal Road, extending to the north and transitions to traditional to low to medium density to the west. Further potential conservation of open space is recommended to indicate potential environmental constraints. In staff's opinion, the requested zoning is in compliance with the future land use and character map. Therefore, staff recommends approval. And on October 15, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the request. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Kelly? Councilmember Blackburn.
If you would, please go back to the map that shows the existing commercial. About how many acres is that that's already in place to the north? Do you have an
I
idea?
don't know exactly, but it looks very similar to the requested property, so probably around 1.5 acres.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Wait, I do have another question.
Okay.
But somebody else can go first.
No, go ahead.
Is CH the most intensive form of commercial zoning?
Yes, ma'am.
And there are other levels of commercial zoning, is that right? That are
General
not-
commercial, neighborhood commercial, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what do we have, and I can see it here, on the corner of 10th and Port Terminal, we've got general commercial, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I know there's a salon on the other, across the street. Is that also a general commercial?
Yes, ma'am, general commercial.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Ms. Kelly? Any other discussion? Anybody want to make a motion?
We don't have the public hearing?
No. It's
Okay, in
old
that case,
business.
I'd like to make a motion to deny this request.
I'll second the motion.
All right, motion's been made. Councilmember Blackburn, second by Councilmember Willis. Any other discussion?
Comment.
Councilmember Robinson?
Looking at this, and actually very familiar with this, rode through the property multiple times and looked at it and did some homework on it. First thing I want to point out is that we have a 2026 Horizons plan that we put, as I remember, from May of 2015 to August of 2016 with all the community stakeholders to develop a plan for what our city should look like going forward. And so the plan has it as requested. Number two, staff has looked at this and used their expertise and their specialty and says it complies with the Horizons 2026 plan. Number three, the lots to the north of it have already been zoned as requested now. And so we're trying to move from agricultural to an economic-driven business healthcare industry in the city of Greenville. And so all the stakeholders said this is how it should be. And they put a lot of time from May of 2015 to August of 2016. So this wasn't done flippantly. And so then when you look at this, I went and did a little homework. The traffic generated on this road comes from primarily two sources, and that would be the boat ramp itself and people using the river for recreational or fishing purposes. And then there's a trash dump down the road. There is a gentleman who lives down at the end of the road by the boat ramp, and as far as I know, I think he's lived there forever because he's lived there through a couple of floods and everything and still has his home there, even though it got flooded. The flooding that did take place took place to the north of these red lots, so it was a far distance from this lot. And so then, if we look at the volume of traffic, and is this a safety issue, I was able to learn that in the last 3 years, there were only 9 accidents at this intersection, and of those, one was an animal strike, and the accidents had declined from 5 in 2023 to 4 in 2024, even though I would suggest to this council that the development increased and volume of traffic increased. So I don't think this is a dangerous intersection by any means. I think it's consistent with the development to the north of it. It's consistent with the 2026 Horizons plan. Our staff believes it's consistent. The planning and zoning voted unanimously for it. And so I have a hard time saying to a developer who's looking at our 2026 plan for development, when they look at this plan, they're looking for guidance. And then to the north of their lot is zoned. I think it's a hard time for us to come in and tell a developer, well, yeah, we've got a 2026 plan. Our staff recommends it. Planning and zoning recommends it universally. And we've got 3 lots to the north of you, but we're going to deny you. I just don't think that sends the complete wrong message to any developer. And I know the gentleman that's developing this, he's lived in this community his entire life. And he's done lots of other developments in the city of Greenville. And so I have a hard time voting to deny this for all those reasons. And the other thing I want to point out to this council, we had a public hearing on this, and not one person showed up in opposition, not one. Okay? And there are lots of neighborhoods around there that border East 10th Street. And so if anybody opposed it, they could have come forward tonight and spoke at the public comment period on this topic. And here again, nobody came. And so that tells me that the community up and down this corridor is not opposed to it, at least from the public comment period previously had, and this. I just think it sends the wrong message to a developer. It looks almost like it's arbitrary. We're going to pick and choose winners and losers. And I just think there's a hard time when you've got 3 lots to the north of you that have already been rezoned. And now you're simply asking for consistency with all those things I've just spoken about, and this council were to come in here and deny it. So I'm asking each of you to not vote to deny it, but I'm asking each of you to vote in favor of it. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else like to make a comment? Let me see if anybody else is.
I haven't had a chance to comment.
Well, I know, but you've already spoke, so I want to see if anybody else.
I just made the motion.
I understand that. And you're going to speak. You can speak. Nobody else wants to speak.
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
So I was not present at the November meeting, and but I had an opportunity to go back and listen to all of the different perspectives from my peers on council. And I would have to disagree that because no one showed up during the public comment that, to assume that everyone was in favor of it. I know that I've received emails. I know that my peers on council have received calls and whatnot of residents who are very concerned about the agenda item and have voiced how they would like for us to consider it. And in thinking about the perspectives that were shared and being able to view the perspectives that were shared at the last meeting, I too am very concerned about the further development on 10th Street with inadequate infrastructure to be able to handle the increase in the growth that we're experiencing. At the same time, you weigh that against, you know, what that means or what that entails, that being, you know, the speed of DOT and things that we may not be able to control, and how the 10th Street corridor may be expanded in the future. So I just wanted to say that I was able to hear the things that were said before, but I think that it's inadequate to say, or incorrect to say, that there aren't any concerns by residents just because they were not here during public comment of the last meeting.
Councilmember Blackburn?
I appreciate what Councilwoman Willis has said. She spoke very eloquently about why this is not a good idea. I need to, just a couple of things I'd like to add to that. I'd like to speak to the matter of the comprehensive land use plan. It's understood that when conditions in our city change, that means that the conditions under which the comprehensive land use plan was developed call for the land use plan itself to be reviewed and changed. And that allows the possibility to address the actual conditions. And as Councilmember Willis pointed out, 10th Street East has been a consistent and just a consistent topic of discussion for this council. We've had the DOT to come down and to see what was going on there. It is absolutely unsafe. I appreciate that Councilmember Robinson drove through there. It's different when you live there. This is where I live, and I do see the dangers and the hazards of 10th Street East. And as far as people speaking out against it, I appreciate what Councilmember Willis says about she's received emails. I have also received emails and calls, and as the representative for that area, I believe I speak for the area that is very concerned about the dangers of 10th Street. It's woefully unimproved, has no safety features. It's a hill, it's a blind curve. Lowe's is right across the street. And I just want to make it the other point clear, which is we're not voting on just this one business, which may in itself may or may not be generate this number of trips. We're voting on a CH, which is the most intensive form of commercial development. Once we put a CH there, we could have potentially a strip mall, a very large business, and I think it was said before that a gas station would not be interested in locating there. Let's not forget that not many years ago, on the other side of the street, Walmart wanted to build a 50-acre complex. So commercial development can locate here, and in the past has wanted to locate here, so it absolutely could be a gas station or any number of very high traffic developments in this area, which I'm not opposed to on 10th Street once we have 10th Street improved. I see accidents all the time. I know that some figures were cited for this particular intersection. You spend a day on 10th Street East and see what happens out there. It is not safe in its current condition. So I just want to say that for these reasons, I cannot support rezoning right now, and cannot vote in favor of it.
I got a question for the staff real quick. Mr. Kelly, can you remind me how many additional trips would be?
The requested zoning could generate 10 additional trips.
10 for
Yes,
the
sir.
for a whole day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've had a really hard time with this. I've gone back and forth and back and forth. The biggest concern for me is the safety on 10th Street. The amount of development that has happened way too fast down the street from there and across the street, Lowe's included, has not been as thoughtfully done as it should have been, and there's not the infrastructure in place to support the amount of people that are going out there. There's a huge housing complex that's being built right down the street. There's already the Walmart complex, the doctor's office going across the street from there. just a lot going on over there. And it's a problem that we have across our city and on other streets as well. Fire Tower, Evans, Memorial, Greenville Boulevard. It's a problem. We're a growing city, growing really quickly, and we've been let down by the state. NCDOT is dragging their feet and not fulfilling the promises that they've made to us. We have several projects that are on the books that we desperately need to keep people safe. We've lost people in our community to car accidents because our streets aren't safe. So that's a huge issue. And this individual is a small thing. So I think we need to look at each thing individually and judge each case by the merits of that, look as carefully, case by case, with each thing. And in this situation, the fact that it's 3 parcels off the street leads me to believe that it wouldn't be fit for a lot of different types of commercial business. Most commercial business, you want to be street facing so that people can see it. The stated intention of the developer is that it be a machine shop. And I understand that they need heavy commercial in order to fulfill that goal, to have a boat shop there. That makes some sense to me because of the port terminal boat access down the street from there. It would be great to have some green space and see that area developed as parks and see that boat ramp access point grow and get more use from our community. And this business could serve those community members who are down there using the boat ramp and using the river. I think those are good things. We need to use our river more. So it's really difficult. I've also spoke with Mr. Wygant, who owns the 2 properties next to him, and he shares a lot of my concerns, our concerns about the safety of 10th Street, but also just stated that, eventually he would like for his property to be zoned commercial as well, and that is why he purchased that property and why he purchased it looking at the Horizons plan, knowing that eventually it would be a good investment for him and his family, as did the applicant. So I have a hard time disenfranchising those individuals who have these small projects just because the state can't get its act together, and just because there's so much big development down the street that hasn't been carefully done. So I'm inclined to approve this with huge hesitation because I don't want to add anything else, but I don't think we have the ability to do an outright ban on development out there just because the state is not fulfilling their obligation to our community. So I really don't know what to do. It's really hard. I will say that we are building momentum in this city to honor our community with safety features on our streets. We have sidewalk and ADA compliance program that we're working on that will build over the next 5 years, $200,000 each year being appropriated to sidewalks and ADA compliance. In 5 years, that'll be $1 million annually each year. If we can do that and improve those streets over time, but that all takes time. So it's such a hard thing because you don't want the development outpace the safety features. But we are doing our best with the city in supporting what the state's not doing. And we could also do a lot more honoring what's in the Horizons plan and following the guidelines because it's great. There's a lot of really wonderful stuff in that plan. And we're not always following along. So I really would like to know more at a workshop or something, get have a report done about what we've been able to accomplish in the Horizons plan, what we're doing to encourage, incentivize developers to follow the guidelines in the plan. And I want to know more about the sidewalk program, how fast we can get that going, and what we're going to do to find the most needed areas for those sidewalks. Because driving out there really is nothing. in that little stretch. There's no sidewalks, there's no crosswalks, and there are bus stops and people that live there who are pedestrians who are trying to get around. So it's dangerous. But I don't know that this small project is going to make it any more dangerous. So that's why I'm going to vote in favor of this with extreme hesitation and a little bit of disappointment, because I really want to do my best to keep people safe. And I also got emails from some people that live in my district across the street in that neighborhood who are really concerned coming out of that Fox Run Road. And it's a dangerous curve already. So having 10 more cars, one of those 10 might strike one of them one day. I don't know. So I understand and hear their concerns, and I'm sorry to disappoint them, because I really do care about their needs and concerns, and understand that we're in a dangerous place over there. So we got to do more, and I want to hear more about it. So, thank you.
Any other comments?
I am not going to regurgitate everything that I said at the last meeting on this topic, because I think a lot of that has been revisited already. I too have done my homework as it relates to this request, and did not reach out to the resident myself. Actually asked Councilmember Scully to reach out to him, and we spoke and followed up on it. I think we both were just kind of torn as it relates to this particular request. And I don't tend to go against the grain of citizens, because I always say I'm not a politician, I'm a public servant, and there's a difference. With that being said, the resident did balance his communication with the hesitation for what hazards it might bring to 10th Street, and the fact that he had made an investment on the property with the expectation that he was going to be able to sell it at some point. My biggest concern is that as a businesswoman myself, I know right now what I plan to do in 5 years, and I know right now what I plan to do in 10 years as a businesswoman, as well as my sons. And and so, with it already being the property north of it having been rezoned heavy commercial, and this being rezoned heavy commercial, and I would anticipate that the property below it would at some point be rezoned heavy commercial. I always battle with the transparency that we're receiving about what people's future goals and plans are when we have these conversations. Having said that, as it relates to where we are at this point, I am still torn because the person that would be most impacted as it relates to this particular zoning request has expressed a desire for us to support the request. I too received emails and phone calls from citizens with concerns from across the road, and am always discussing order of operations. That in mathematics, if you want to get a problem right, you follow an order of operations. And in life, if we want to get things right, we follow that same order of operations, and we put people first when we're making those decisions. And this one is torn right in the middle with the desire to protect our citizens and preserve our community, and not to make a negative impact on the desire of the person that's most impacted and who purchased the property with that plan in place. So I hear all of you and am still torn on this topic, but want to elevate to everyone involved that I have heard what your requests and concerns are and wishes.
Councilmember Blackburn?
Just want to say one more thing sort of in summary, and I appreciate everything that's been shared tonight, that this is an area that I'm on all the time. And I think, as Councilmember Scully pointed out, it has seen explosive growth. And without safety features, there's not a stoplight here, it's a blind curve, it's a hill, and that we're not just, I know it was mentioned that this was, an individual parcel, but we have to be very careful that when we approve a CH here, anything can go there. And when you look at the CH to the north, you look at all the potential construction and development that can take place there. And we don't know when DOT is going to give us the infrastructure support we need on 10th Street. So by approving this, we're not just approving one shop, we're approving a large block of heavy commercial in an area where it's going to be extremely hazardous. And I just am not prepared to do that. Because I drive this every single day. I see the accidents. I see the pedestrians that cannot get across. And I see the cars that get T-boned. I see the cars that try to go right when they can't make a left turn and then try to do U-turns in the cemetery. I mean, we have it all. And just recently, there's 2 people that have spun out in the entrance of River Hills. That's just my neighborhood. We don't have a light or anything, not even a deceleration lane. And now there's apartments going up across the street from this request. It just, the conditions on the ground are not safe for more commercial development. And I think when we do this, we are saying, we got this great big block of CH, and we're saying we're okay with that. And that concerns me.
All right, any other comments? All right. Seeing none, we got a motion on the table, a motion to deny. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed, raise your hand. We got that?
Yes.
Did it deny?
Oh, sorry. Motion fails, 2-4.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Did you?
I voted to deny.
Oh.
So 3-3.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did not catch that.
I
So
know,
it's
it was
3-3,
slow.
huh?
Yes, so it's
So I get to
3-3.
break the tie.
Yeah, it was really slow.
Aren't there special rules when there's rezoning?
I vote against the motion.
I make
Okay.
a motion to approve.
So the motion, so the motion dies 4-3.
That's true, yes, it does. So it's just a simple majority of the entire council for rezoning. So you have the full council here, so you need a simple
Yeah, it was
majority vote
3-3.
of the entire council. So it was 3-4 to deny that failed. So now,
If somebody wants to make a motion.
Wasn't there
Three,
some-
three.
Yeah, her motion
Her
died
to deny
3-4 because
it failed 3-4.
3
So it
supported,
failed.
3 didn't.
Motion to deny
3-3.
failed,
But
3
the
to
mayor
4.
broke the tie, so it's 3
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What was the thing, though, where you had to have
Thank you.
a certain number of council members in order to pass?
That's on the first reading, right?
So last time we were here, we had 5 council members because Councilmember Willis was absent. So there was a 3-2 vote to approve. You need 4 votes to adopt an ordinance that failed. That didn't pass or fail, so it was continued for another vote today.
And so the 4 votes we have include the 3 of us plus the mayor, is that right?
That's right.
So a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
I was going to say, there's not many options, 1 or 2, you got to do it.
A and B, of course, A and B, of course B.
All right, motion's been made by Councilor Robinson, second by Councilmember Scully. All those in favor, raise your hand. Those opposed, raise your hand. I'll break the tie in support.
Okay, motion passes 4-3.
All right. We'll move on to new business, which is the public hearings. This is the policy of public hearings adopted by the City Council. The petitioner or a representative of the petitioner or a leader of those in opposition will each have 10 minutes. Persons following them will have up to 3 minutes each, with a total for each side no more than 30 minutes. Additionally, I want to remind those in attendance to extend the courtesy to persons speaking during the public hearing and to the City Council during discussion. Comments made by the members of the public are to occur only during the public hearing as allowed by the mayor in accordance with adopted policy of the City Council. There should be no interruptions of speakers or council members, including expressions of support or disagreements, verbally or by applause, as this is distracting and makes discussion difficult. We ask for your cooperation. Thank you. Mr. Manager, our first public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 3, ordinance requested by HPD LLC to rezone 6.8 acres located along the western right-of-way of North Memorial Drive between Independence Boulevard and Martin Luther King Jr. Highway from RA20 Residential Agriculture to CG General Commercial. Now call forward our city planner, Chris Kelly, for the presentation.
This request is located in the northern part of the city. More specifically, this property is located along the western right-of-way of North Memorial Drive and between Independence Boulevard and Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. And for added reference, I've added a text box over Thermo Fisher. Council's seen these properties a few times, so as background, this rezoning request is comprised of 2 properties, and both properties have recently gone through the future land use plan map amendment process. As a reminder, in September of 2024, the southern property was approved by the City Council for a future land use plan map amendment. When staff presents the future land use plan map amendment presentation, we informed the City Council that a rezoning request is likely to be anticipated. So tonight is the rezoning request. However, this request includes both properties, and the northern property off of Independence Boulevard was approved for a future land use plan map amendment back in October of 2023. And because the signage images make it a little bit difficult to discern the location of the property, I've added the street view image. As you can see, this is the intersection of Independence Boulevard and North Memorial Drive. To your right of Independence, you have the duplexes, and further down Independence, you have the Westwood Mobile Home Park. This is an image of the first sign posted on the property taken on Independence Boulevard. To your left will be North Memorial Drive. This is an image of the second sign posted on the property taken on North Memorial Drive. Independence Boulevard would be to your right. And third and finally, this is a sign posted on North Memorial Drive. To your left would be Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. This is a survey of the 2 properties totaling 6.8 acres. The property drains through the Parkers Creek watershed. If stormwater rules apply, it would require 10-year detention, nitrogen and phosphorus reduction. The property is not located in special flood hazard area. There may be jurisdictional wetlands, streams, and riparian buffers on the property. The requested zoning could generate a net increase of 3,262 trips per day. Due to the calculated increase in trips, a traffic impact analysis, or a TIA, will most likely be required. This would be determined when a site plan is submitted for any commercial development and would involve NCDOT review and approval. This property is currently zoned RA20. Under the current zoning, the site could accommodate 12 single-family lots. Under the proposed zoning of CG or general commercial, the site could accommodate 50,000 square feet of miscellaneous retail sales. The future land use and character map recommends commercial along the western right-of-way of North Memorial Drive between Independence Boulevard and Martin Luther King Jr. Highway, transitioning to office institutional to the west for the remainder of the area between Jones-Staten Road and North Memorial Drive. In staff's opinion, the requested zoning is in compliance with the future land use plan and character map. Therefore, staff recommends approval. And on November 19, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of this request. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions for Mr. Kelly?
I have one. So, as we previously discussed as it related to this particular parcel, citizens are concerned about there being gas station in the area. So just please remind me, if there were a possibility of a gas station, does that have to be zoned heavy commercial or commercial?
So under general commercial or CG, a gas station with gasoline sales will require a special use permit.
All right.
So if we rezone this tonight, and the applicant, or down the road, they want to put a gas, they've got to come back for a special use permit again, is that right?
Yes, sir, to the Board of Adjustment.
Right, to the Board of Adjustment. Okay, thank you, sir.
Right, not to us, to the
Right,
Board of
Board of
Adjustment.
Adjustment.
Right. And that's why I asked that question. I wanted that to be elevated publicly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes.
Well, good evening again.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Powell Dew. Tonight, HPD LLC is coming requesting the rezoning of these 2 parcels of land totaling 6.9 acres at the intersection of Highway 1113 and 264. HPD LLC has met before the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Greenville City Council over the last 2 years, working through the receiving approval for the Horizons 2026 land use plan map change. And in that past 2 years, it's been approved from changing from where it is to general commercial. And so the request coming before you tonight is consistent with the land use planning map. At our most recent planning and zoning meeting on November 19th, Councilwoman Monica Daniels was there, and we had a chance to speak, and she was concerned that maybe the neighbors did not know about what was going on. They might have seen the signs, but did not know. And so I kind of took her comments to heart, and so I distributed a community input survey among all the mobile home residents, as well as those that live in the duplex apartments, as well as the staff that work there in the mobile home park. The survey, community input survey, was distributed both in Spanish and in English, distributed on December the 1st, and it was collected at the Westwood office on December the 9th. As an incentive to try to get as much participation as possible, $300 was offered for anybody that participated, and one person would be randomly selected as the winner of that. And so 196 surveys were distributed in the community. 15 returned them. And so I did receive that and have tabulated those results. 60% said they'd like to see a restaurant go there, whether it's a conventional or fast food. 53% said a convenience store, like maybe a Dollar General or a Family Dollar. 40% would like to see a gas station. 33% said they'd like to see some kind of retail sales there. 26% said they wanted a barber shop, beauty shop, an exercise facility, medical office, or even a pharmacy. That's what was the results of that. I did ask if there were any businesses not listed that they'd like to see in that location. Somebody suggested a recreation like a pool or a track, a game room for children and families, a vape shop, or a drive-through coffee shop. Those were one suggestion for each one of those. I did ask if there were some businesses they did not want to see. And so I had 3 respondents say they did not want a gas station, 3 did not want a smoke shop, 2 didn't want bars or clubs, 1 did not want an ABC store, another didn't want a pool hall, auto parts store, medical office, convenience store, auto car wash. So it was kind of, a little mixed bag in all of that. I did ask if they had any other comments or concerns, and one person said thank you for allowing me to participate in this survey and have some input. And then another person noted that businesses, whatever went there, should not impede the flow of traffic. And so there was one question about traffic. So, even though the response was not as great as I probably would have liked to have, I'm reminded on off-year elections, usually 6% of the population only votes for the city council. And so, to get 8% response is probably about right. But I do think what we do have shows that there is an interest in this community of having something positive and not something negative or derogatory, but they would like to see something positive and wholesome in that community. And so this rezoning request tonight will allow this to happen. And I'm respectfully requesting that the City Council approve this rezoning request. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from students?
I don't have a question, but I would like to thank you for reaching out to the residents. When we talked, it was discussed you don't have to do that, but it's common courtesy. And I thank you for taking the time to do that.
It was very beneficial. I think it really raised awareness of what could be.
Yeah, because my concern was that since your last town hall meeting, things have changed.
Yes.
There's been some rezoning, there's been racetrack, there's been Wawa, there's been a lot of things going on. And while we do want growth north of the river, we want smart growth, and we don't want the same thing, the repetition. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Likewise, just say thank you for taking that time. That shows a lot what those residents mean to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone else that'd like to speak in favor of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Seeing none, those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Open for board discussion or a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made, properly second. Any other discussion?
I do have a question for Mayor Pro Tem Daniels. Just thinking about, knowing that that's your district, thinking about what the applicant has brought forward, and I think that some of the responses that he gave are in line with what have been communicated from the residents and things that I've heard as well in terms of wanting the growth but not wanting a certain type of growth. Do you feel that the residents in your district would be in favor of this and the possibility of growth? Because if we do this, then it opens the door to something that they potentially may not want, but would be in favor of it despite that possibility.
I think that anything but a gas station would benefit
And we don't have
individuals.
control
And-
over that.
And over the past year, what I've heard is, especially for this particular location, is finally someone is thinking about them.
Right.
And the fear of losing their homes isn't as great as it was. I rode through there. As he stated a couple of months ago, the streets have been repaired. They have a park out there. So the owners are doing their best to make the residents feel comfortable in the growth. Now, whether they're going to like what comes, I can't say because I don't know.
Right, right.
So in all honesty, I don't know that I have an answer to that question. I hope they would. I hope with so much going on with racetrack, because, you know, that's our negative right now, unfortunately, that this would be a bright light for that area and those individuals, and that the youth in that area won't have to ride their bikes down the sheets, and, you know, different things like that. And it'll be a little bit safer for them.
I appreciate that.
Any other questions or discussions?
I communicate with the residents over in that area regularly. As you all know, I'm from north of the river. And with my organization, we serve the entire county. Mayor Pro Tem Daniels and I have discussed that the citizens are exceptionally concerned about whatever happens in that 1 mile strip, not just with that parcel of land, but, you know, with what is going on at the corner of Memorial and Briley Road, with the potential of a racetrack. And so there's still some major concerns there, and we have lost a significant amount of trust there. And so I would almost dare say that probably some of the lack of participation in the survey might have been that there's just a significant amount of loss of trust in the area. I communicate and do meetings with citizens over there regularly just by nature of the work that I do in the community. They are exceptionally concerned about what will happen in that 1 mile strip. And because of the request of gas stations on that particular property before, are exceptionally concerned that that might end up being what it ends up there. Now, having said that, if there were a gas station anywhere, rather than it being on Briley Road, they probably would prefer it being in that location. And so, you know, we've got to, first of all, I have to address the continuous references to the Horizons Plan. And yes, the Horizons Plan is our future land use plan, but we also have to be honest and say that there are 7 key points in that Horizons Plan that citizens have voted for us to follow when we are considering things. And usually when we make those considerations, we'll pick 1, sometimes 2. And with that being said, it makes me think about church and a bad minister. That you can pick 1 or 2 points in a scripture and make it sound like whatever you want it to sound like. So we have not done a good job. We have not done a good job with executing what I know from conversations, working boots on the ground in this community, consistently serving with what our citizens desired for the Horizons Plan. We have not done a good job at it. And because we have not done a good job at it, and we have not put the infrastructure in place to support even developing the Horizons Plan at the level that it should be developed by now, we've not done it. And because of that, we consistently have lost levels of trust in our community that we are all working so diligently to regain. So as it relates to this particular piece, the only reason that I'm torn is because I know that the citizens, if there were a gas station and they had to choose between Briley Road and Memorial, behind a bunch of senior citizens who have worked all their lives to live in peace and quiet in this location, they would choose this location. But the same citizens have said consistently, not just in this area north of the river, but all over their city, that they are tired of us putting the cart before the horse as it relates to development. And when we choose development, that we need to choose it based on merit, the merit of the development and the benefit that it will bring to the day-to-day lived experiences of the citizens that we have all been voted to serve. We should choose it based on that rather than the size of the pocket of the people requesting it. So, with that being said, I'm exceptionally torn only because, as Mr. Dew, they are, when I tell you, it's like an open wound north of the river because of the discussions that have been had about this particular parcel of land and the gas station request and the way it was voted on October of 2023 and how the follow-up has been in 2024. And, but if there was a choice, then they would choose this parcel over the Briley Road parcel. That would be my feedback. You know, my first inclination is that no, they do not want to support it. And, you know, I appreciate you attempting to do a survey, but I talk to them face to face all the time. And it's a regular discussion in that area as well as all over our city related to gas stations, smoke shops, car washes, and now hookah lounges were the last thing that was brought up to me in the last 3 weeks. So we really need to be more considerate, again, about order of operations and putting the people that we were voted to serve first over development. We all want development, but we want smart development. And then I almost think about the definition that we use for development. If it's not providing jobs that pay livable wages, because we've got people that live in this city now that can't afford to live where they work, that pay livable wages and offer something that's need-based, not greed-based, based on need, not greed, then is it really development? What our citizens are asking for north of the river as it relates to development is medical support, pharmacies, a bank. Those are the things that they're really asking for. And, you know, gas stations and, you know, even if it were a convenience store, that doesn't provide healthy food. So,
And I think we have to be kind of careful when we talk about what people can eat and what people can sell, because then we become dictators, and your healthy, my healthy, it might not be the same thing. Now,
healthy
now,
is healthy, Monica.
No, not really, not really. I think that, I'm hoping that this is not a gas station, as I stated earlier, because between Racetrack, Sheetz, Wawa, Hess, all that, we've got enough across the river.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree with that. But I do think as we move forward and we talk to people that there's something different and something that adds growth north of the river, and something different other than a gas station. So that is what, when I speak to people, that is what they want to see, that is what they want to have. They don't want to go all the way across the river to go to a restaurant. They like to see something different and something new.
I agree with that. But I will reiterate that the trust is lost as it relates to that. The only reason that I'm torn is that I know that they would choose a gas station in that location as opposed to Briley.
You mean the developers or the people?
You know, I'm not talking about the developers. I'm always talking about the people. I'm always driven by the people. So that would be the only reason that I'm torn on this particular topic.
And, I mean, I hate to, okay. We good?
Okay.
All right, any other discussion?
I just have a couple of questions, really, for my peers on council. There's a couple of things that have really resonated. One was Mayor Pro Tem Daniels talking about folks getting on their bikes and having to ride in this area to make a purchase of whatever kind. That is a concern for me. I'm also probably more concerned by the idea of a gas station where it's not wanted, unless it's because this other less desirable location were to somehow change. And I think, you know, that's not going to happen. The one on Briley Road, I think, is already in place, and it's not going to move over here.
Well, they're appealing it.
I don't know if it's the same companies or, well, I guess for the purpose of this decision tonight, I feel like I have to treat them separately. But what I am concerned about is gas station where it's not wanted. Gas station, they're just not healthy for communities. We got plenty of them, and I think a point was made about, you know, what's healthy for our community in terms of food. Clean air, good food, clean soil, clean water.
So can I ask a question as we move forward? Do we think we're voting on a gas station?
Hold on one second. Let her finish.
I was just saying that I don't think the gas stations contribute in a positive way to our community, because we are above a what's that, we're above a sort of a tilting point with the number of gas stations we have, and that concerns me because I have a feeling that at this location, just looking at the dynamics of where it is, it's going to be. It's going to be a gas station. Of course, we're not voting on a gas station, but we are voting on conditions conducive to a gas station.
I guess too, though, you got to keep in mind that the market's going to dictate when we have too much of a certain business, right? I don't think it's up to the government necessarily to determine how many of a certain business. The other thing too, I would say, is I know Mayor Pro Tem Daniels and I went to the Wawa ribbon cutting today. In the cold. And, you know, they do not want to be categorized as a gas station, but what do they do there? They sell gas. And there were 100 people waiting to get into that gas station this morning. And so I don't necessarily think you need to say that people don't want a gas station, because I think Mr. Dews stated that with the survey that he did, some people did want there to be a gas station. So I don't think you need to say that. There are people that don't want to say it, but I wouldn't say that there's an overwhelming number of people that don't want it to be a gas station. But that's not what we're voting on. We're voting on a rezoning request for anything that can fall into that category of the general commercial. So I think we need to be very careful as a council not to just say that we don't want gas stations, right?
I'm not that careful.
I mean, I would. That's just me. I'm speaking for myself. I'd be very careful to say that.
I mean, you know, I don't walk away from situations with teeth marks in my tongue because, again, I serve on a grassroots level in the community all the time. And when I make those decisions, I'm not making them based on Tanya's opinion. I am a representative. That was what I was voted for. And so I'm making them based on regular conversations that I have consistently with various members of the community. And that has been a consistent message I actually think that we've all received. And it's funny, you know, again, I might lean in this direction because of just that Briley Road situation. But when we mentioned the amount of people that showed up for Wawa, the same amount of people showed up for Bonefish and a lot of these businesses that come in our area while the novelty is there and they're new. And then, you know, 6 months later, you know, the business wears down. I think we need to be mindful about what we are communicating as growth. And we need to listen to what our citizens are consistently saying. In every platform that we have that discussion, they're lifting up those topics of that, you know, the UDO. We've been asked to do a petition as related to the UDO to you know, put distance between the clusters of them that we're having. And it is changing the character of what our community is. And I'm from here. You know, my roots are here. And so, you know, I have a vested interest in how those things impact our day-to-day lived experiences and the character of our community. With that being said, I hear you all. I respect your opinions. And like I said, I've wavered on this just because of the Briley Road situation and what citizens said if they had to choose between one or the other, what their choice would be. But were it not, it would be a flat no.
Any other discussion?
Just a question for clarity. Is there a matter of the Briley Road gas station perhaps locating here if the zoning were in place? Is that something that's happening behind the scenes?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not openly anyway.
All right. Any other discussion? We got a motion.
A motion.
It was properly second. All those in favor, raise your hand. Those opposed, raise your hand.
Okay.
I vote in favor.
Okay. Motion passes 4-3 with Mayor Conley breaking the tie.
You having fun tonight?
All right.
All right,
Move on to the
thank you,
next
Mayor.
one.
Item number 4, ordinance to designate the O.B. Petros House, Francis Spate and Sarah Blakesley home and studio located at 1910 East 6th Street and further identified as Pitt County parcel number 17883 as a local historic landmark. I'll call forward our city planner, Blake Prevett, for the presentation.
Mr. Manager, do you think you could read that one more time?
I'm telling you, it was tough. You know what? It was tough. They don't have those kind of words in paragraphs.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is a request to designate home as a local historic landmark. So first, I just want to get into explain a little bit about a local historic landmark in case you aren't familiar. So it's an individual property recognized by the community for its heritage and character. Since it's local, the designation should be relative to the history of Greenville. A local landmark must meet 2 criteria. First, it must have special historical, prehistorical, architectural, or cultural significance, and it must have integrity of design, setting, workmanship, material, feeling, or association. So for significance, the property must meet one of the items listed here. It has to be associated with significant events in our history, associated with a significant person, contain distinctive characteristics, represent the work of a master, or yield historical information. The other item is integrity. This means that it can be seen or experienced. First, design refers to how it looks. Setting refers to its location. Workmanship refers to the skills of the people that built the object. Materials mean that the original materials are intact. Feeling refers to a feeling of nostalgia. Association refers to the property's association with a significant person or event. So now I want to talk about how local historic landmarks are evaluated and designated. So a property owner would submit an application, and this would be reviewed by the selection committee, which is a subcommittee of the Historic Preservation Commission. They would provide a recommendation and feedback, and then the property owner would need to produce a report detailing the history of the property. After that, the Historic Preservation Commission would adopt the report, and then it would be forwarded to the North Carolina Historic Preservation Office, and they would provide comments on the report. The Historic Preservation Commission would review SHPO's comments, and they would make a recommendation to City Council. And now tonight, the City Council will hold a public hearing and adopt the ordinance if you wish to designate the property as a local historic landmark. So what are the benefits of having a property designated as a local landmark? The property owner will receive a 50% tax deferral of their property tax, and for the community, a historic resource is preserved, as any changes to the exterior of the property or grounds must be approved by the HPC. So for this specific property tonight, it's located at 1910 East 6th Street, which is east of ECU main campus. This is a photo of the property from East 6th Street, and there were more photos of the property, including the interior, in your packet. This property has its significance due to its association as being the home of the artists Francis Spate and Sarah Blakesley Spate, who made significant contributions to the local and regional art world in the mid-20th century. Mr. Spate was also the first artist in residence at ECU. And the house itself is an excellent example of the American Foursquare architecture. For integrity under design, it's the excellent example of American Foursquare. The home exhibits craftsmanship at the time it was built. It retains nearly all the original materials. And again, it's associated with Francis Spate and Sarah Blakesley Spate. At its November 26, 2024 meeting, the Historic Preservation Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of this designation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions?
I do.
Councilmember Blackburn?
I did my best to go back and look for some of the history because the house was moved. And I couldn't find any information about that. I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you remember or do you know about what year this house was moved and what its previous location was?
It was moved around the year 2000, and the property owner could speak a little bit more about it. But it was originally located on 9th Street, close to where ECU's library currently is, and it was at risk of being demolished for expansion of campus, and so it was moved to its current location.
Thank you, thank you. You filled in some of those missing pieces. I remember that, and I think at one point there was the possibility that it would have been lost. And these two artists, Sarah Blakesley and her husband Francis Spate, they are just, first of all, as artists, their work is so important and so lovely, and fills up an entire room at our Greenville Museum of Art, and is so worthy of being appreciated. And that their house. Tonight we're going to vote on making it a landmark. To me, that is just the culmination of the incredible contributions of this couple and their art to our community, and how proud we should feel as a community that they lived here. They weren't originally from here, they moved here. So thank you for the history that you provided, and thanks for filling in those gaps about when the house was moved and all the efforts that took place to save it, and what an absolute sort of moment to celebrate that the house was saved and that tonight we're voting to make it a local landmark. So thank you for that information.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thank you very much. Was that the first presentation? Was that your first? Good job. Good job. Public hearing is now open. Those to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. First person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll close the public comment period. The public hearing. Open for board discussion or motion.
Motion approved.
It's my, well, I was going
It's
to
your
say.
pleasure to second that motion.
It is my pleasure and my honor to, I guess at this point, second the motion to recognize, to recognize this house and the incredible contributions of the artists who once lived there.
Is there really a reason to not support something like this? Nope. I mean, I guess unless you want 100% of the taxes to go to the city. I was trying to think of that a few minutes ago. So does anybody ever oppose to somebody taking their property and making it historic property?
If you look at the pictures, it's really a cool house.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. All right, so we've got a motion by Councilmember Robinson, second by Councilmember Blackburn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Item number 5, first public hearing for the 2025-2026 Annual Action Plan for CDBG and Home Funds. I will call forward our Director of Neighborhood and Business Services, Ms. Tiana Behrman, for the presentation.
Hey, everybody over here is here because of you, but not because of you. Does that make sense?
Something like that. It does.
Because this is the beginning part of how they got here.
It is. That's true. That's true.
Right.
So, good evening, Mayor and Council. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and with that in mind, it's time for us to start thinking about our community development actions for the upcoming year. This is, let me not get to my presentation too early, but we are here to talk about the annual action plan for 2025-2026. As you all, I'm sure, are well aware at this point, the annual action plan breaks down that 5-year consolidated plan into tangible bite-sized pieces, and it dictates our priorities and our investments for the upcoming year. And then we report on those activities and our outcomes through the CAPER in around September. It is a requirement for HUD funding. Essentially, it serves as our application for funding each year. We are moving into year 3 of the consolidated plan, so time is flying. The annual action plan covers activities related to community development, the CDBG Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Funds. All right, so in a nutshell, CDBG funds activities to support strong, resilient communities. Anything that from affordable housing, infrastructure improvements, public services, supporting those nonprofits and things that we love to do with those resources. And then the Home Investment Partnerships creates homes. And so we're excited to talk about some of those outcomes in the next couple presentations. So anything from rehab, rental development, new construction, down payment assistance, those are the type of activities we use home dollars for. All right, and so we begin our community engagement process formally with a series of public meetings that starts around November. We're here for our first public hearing. This is a chance to kind of pitch some of those initial ideas. We don't have a physical plan at this point. We will go into hibernation of sorts to do some writing over the next couple weeks, couple months, and we'll come back out with a draft document for council to review in the spring. All right, so our intended activities for the upcoming year include land acquisition, rental development, rehabilitation of owner-occupied units, down payment assistance, support of nonprofits through public service, and then economic development activities. All right, land acquisition. Here's a picture here that allows us to acquire land in priority areas for the purposes of creating development, affordable housing specifically. So here's a picture of Lincoln Park kind of before and after phase 2. Right, rental development allows us to partner with developers to create affordable rental housing, most popularly through our the tax credit project. Home rehab, so here's a before and after picture that kind of details what it looks like when staff goes in using these dollars to create, to help homeowners age in place, help residents stay in their home. Right, down payment assistance, that goes along part of the process also to help first-time buyers achieve their goals of home ownership. All right, education nonprofit support. We work with a variety of community agencies who are working to achieve aligned goals related to supporting low and moderate income individuals in areas where those individuals might live, eliminate slum and blight, and then also address some urgent needs in the community. And then also economic development opportunities, keeping those opportunities to support business development and priority communities open for the upcoming years. So staff recommends holding the first public hearing for the 25-26 annual action plan. And I'm available to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Ms. Berryman? Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. All right. Those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll close it public hearing. Gosh, I've done it twice in a row now. Public hearing. And we'll move on to the next item.
Okay, best part of the night.
Let's sell some houses.
Yes.
Nobody's here for that, right?
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes.
Item number 6, resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned property located at 616 Hudson Street to Dominique Coleman. I'll now call forward again our Director of Neighborhood and Business Services, Tiana Berryman, for the presentation.
All right, so when our our Community Development Manager, Renee Skeen, told me she wouldn't be available tonight for the presentation, I gladly stepped in because this is super exciting and I'm honored to be a part of this in just another way. So tonight we have we're looking to transfer these properties that the city's been working on to some homeowners. So our housing goal in the consolidated plan details ways in which we will support homeownership opportunities. And they include increasing the housing stock and providing support for buyers through down payment assistance, and then also revitalizing priority areas. So our Lincoln Park project has created opportunities for all 3 of those objectives to be realized. A little bit of background. Lincoln Park was a concentrated effort at block level revitalization. It's been a tremendous project that has required the support and participation of a lot of different partners and stakeholders in the community. One in particular, Bill Clark Homes, who was selected as the builder for the construction for this project. Open house was held in July, and so I believe many members of the community and even council have been able to tour the homes. But we have received offers to purchase for all 6 units, but tonight we're only talking about 4. The other 2 will be coming to council really soon. Okay, so the first property that we're talking about is located along Hudson. Here's an exterior image of the home at 616. And so staff simply recommends, following a public hearing, approval of the resolution to authorize the sale of 616 Hudson Street to Ms. Dominique Coleman.
All right, any questions?
Can we move to approve?
I know, right? Can't happen quick enough.
Move to approve.
All right, the public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. First person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes.
That's great.
Hi, good evening. My name is Dominique Coleman. So, of course, I motion to approve.
Who's going to second that?
Second. I just want to come up here. I'm claiming already in advance that everyone's going to approve it, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity to allow my daughter and I to be first-time home buyers. God willing, as of next month, to get the key. And I just cannot emphasize enough that I'm very appreciative of this program. I truly believe without this program, my daughter and I would not be able to attain the home of our dreams. It literally has everything that I was looking for. And to be able to do it within my financial means. Because anyone can buy a home, but the objective is to keep it, to not go through foreclosure. And with this program, it's granting me that opportunity to do that. I also want to share one other thing before I sit down. I have a father who had a stroke in 2017, so he has paralysis on the left side. And with this home, with the patio in the back, which is the only home with the patio in the back, with the patio being on a slab, it is wheelchair accessible.
Awesome.
So I will literally be able to pick my dad up from Pender County, which is 2 hours away. It's Curry, North Carolina, to be exact. I'll be able to pick him up and take him on that 2-hour drive to Greenville, North Carolina, and wheelchair him in through the patio to allow him to see my first time home. So, thank you.
That's awesome.
Great story.
God bless you.
Congratulations to you.
What's your daughter's name?
London.
London?
London.
What are you asking for Christmas?
I don't know.
A new house?
I bet she got colors picked out for her room and everything, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Good
Mine
choice.
too.
Good choice.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to
Happy
both of you.
holidays.
Same to you.
Best public hearing ever.
Anyone else like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Tawanda Austin, and I am the buyer's agent, and I am so ecstatic to be able, because we looked at a lot of homes, and with her price range, we wasn't able to find what she was looking for. And when she told me about this program, I was just so excited for her. And I was like, we're claiming it, this is your home, and I'm just really excited. So thank you for the opportunity for everybody that you're giving the opportunity to have their first home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Olson.
you.
Thank you for your efforts on her behalf.
Anyone else like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Seeing none, those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes.
Not allowed.
There weren't any backup offers, were there? All right, seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. I hope someone makes a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilmember Foreman, second by Councilmember Blackburn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those
Absolutely,
opposed
yes.
say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
Done deal. Congratulations, Ms. Coleman and London.
Okay, moving right along, Mayor. Item number 7, resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned property located at 618 Hudson Street to Peggy and Dante Braxton. Again, turn it over to Ms. Berryman for the presentation.
All right, so now that everyone has seen how easy this process is going to be, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. All right, so the next home is located right next door. Here's an image of the exterior. And so following a public hearing, staff recommends approval of the resolution to authorize the sale of 618 Hudson Street to Peggy and Dante Braxton.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Berryman? Nope. Nobody wants to ask her about all the terms of the contract? I'm just kidding. You just said it was going to be easy, so I just give you a hard time. All right, the public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. You could do it. Mr. Braxton says, no way, I'm not getting up here.
Hello. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just basking in this moment. I figured I would get up here and just be nervous, so real quick, I just wrote down some things. First and foremost, I would like to thank God and the city of Greenville for this mind-blowing blessing. My family and I are truly grateful. As a single mother of 11, I have always had dreams of becoming a homeowner. However, after several failed attempts over the years, it's kind of left me feeling hopeless, of my dreams ever being possible. However, thanks to God, of course, and my amazing support system for pushing me past my fears, and my children who did not allow me to give up on myself, my dreams are now becoming a reality. This program has not only provided financial support, will not only be providing financial support, but also hope and stability for my family and me. It means so much to be able to give my children and myself a beautiful brand new place to call home. Thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you who has helped to make our dreams come true, because I'm already claiming it. There are truly no words big enough to express the gratitude that my heart feels in this moment. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Braxton, did I hear that right? Did you say you have 11 kids?
I do.
We should be giving you this house.
Motion.
I don't know how you're still standing. I got 2 and it's, whew.
Well, I've always promised, most of my children are grown, and I've always promised them, someday I'm gonna buy a house. And I was just having a conversation with one of my sons who's a minister. I said, baby, I promised y'all this years ago, like, Mama gonna buy a house, and I'm sorry, most of y'all are grown now, and I'm buying a house. And he was like, Mom, it don't even matter, you're doing it now, and you're doing it for you. And I'm just truly happy for you. Also, this will be such a wonderful blessing, because my mom also lives on Fleming, the houses that were built a couple years ago, and she's elderly, and so I'm able to be like a minute from her, and whenever she needs me, I could just roll right on over there.
That's awesome.
This will truly be a blessing for me and my family.
You know what else is the blessing? That she lives close, so when they come over bring their grandkids over, you ship them to great grandma's house down the street, so you can get some sleep in your own house.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
What a great deal.
All right, anyone else that'd like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rebecca Bunn, broker for Miss Peggy and Dante Braxton. I've known Miss Peggy for the last maybe 3 to 4 years, and since we met, one of the things that she always said that she wanted to purchase a home. And it's a true honor and a pleasure to be able to walk her through this process, to see her through, as she said, failed attempts. I know that it was all meant to be in alignment for this moment, to lead her to this 4-bedroom home that would be able to house her and her kids. I'm super excited, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you
for your hard
on our
work.
behalf.
Anyone else that'd like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Seeing none, those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilmember Foreman, second by Councilmember Blackburn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, item number 8, resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned property located at 620 Hudson Street to Curtis Wiggins. Again, turn it over to Ms. Berryman.
All right, here we go. Number 3 for tonight, right along Hudson. Here is a picture of the exterior of the home. So following a public hearing, staff recommends approval of the resolution to authorize the sale of 620 Hudson to Mr. Curtis Wiggins.
All right, any questions for Ms. Berryman? Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. First person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes.
Nice to meet everyone, first of all, and Curtis Wiggins, and this is a good opportunity, a good program for first-time home buyers, and it's just kind of, it's a good situation for me how it happened, and it kind of just all dropped in my lap, and glory to God, you know. It just happened all of a sudden, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to own a home, and I'm believing it's going to be a good situation for me. And, a little nervous, you know.
All good.
But
all good.
But yeah, it's a wonderful program, you know. Just for you know, people to be able to own a home first time. You know, it's difficult nowadays to do that, but this program is very helpful. So, and it's pretty much it. I mean, it's a lovely home, and I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites, by the way. I said, he bought my house.
How many years did you rent?
How many years have I been written?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Many?
Yeah. Just always rent. You know?
What prompted you to decide that you wanted to be a homeowner?
Well, actually, my sister had came to me one day and was, you know, she just said, you know, why don't you just look for a house, you know? You know, our situation, I had an apartment, but I moved back in with my mom and my sister to help out, and it's kind of, you know, cramped. But she was like, you know, I believe God wants you to have a house, you know, start looking. And I'm like, okay. And I started looking, and that's how it happened. I mean, it just happened, like, all of a sudden.
You give your sister a hug, because without her nudge, you may not be here today, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was content, you know, being there with them and helping out.
Are they going to move in with you?
Nah.
You didn't hesitate on that one.
You're welcome to, but nah.
They can visit.
Yeah.
He got a spot on that one. Can they visit?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What day do you close on the property? 15th? Awesome.
Yeah.
Is everybody closing on the 15th? I know I talked to somebody else, they said they're closing on the 15th, I think. Right around the 15th?
Before Christmas, that's great.
Yeah, the 15th of January. Yeah, so.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Anybody else got anything? Thank you, Mr. Wiggins.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Wiggins.
Congratulations.
Anyone else that'd like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You got 3 minutes.
Come on.
My name is Mario Brown. I'm a real estate broker. I'm actually based out of Raleigh, but I just want to say, yeah. So I'm originally from this area. I actually went to Green Central.
Okay.
Yeah. So
A ram.
I ram. I am a ram. Yeah. So
You're not hurting. He's not hurting his client's chances by saying that.
I do happen to be a Jaguar, but
oh, nice. So definitely thankful for the opportunity to be able to help him, and thank God to you guys for. I'm just going to claim it in advance that you're going to approve, him being able to get the house. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else that'd like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You've got 3 minutes. All right, see none. Those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. The first person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilmember Foreman, second by Councilmember Blackburn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
Hey, I'm starting to feel like Oprah up here. You get a house, you get a house, you get a house. Everybody gets a house.
All right, Mayor, item number 9, resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned property located at 806 Vanderbilt Lane to Benita Person. We'll call for it again. Ms. Berryman for the presentation.
All right, well, this is our conclusion for tonight.
Saving the best for last. All right, Ms. Person? Saving the best for last.
Yeah. It is great to see so many of our buyers, or all of our buyers, supported by their support systems, family, friends, agents. We've had a lot of partnership in this, and it's great to see that they've got their partnership here to support them. It has been a hoot getting to know everyone along the way, but we are nearing the finish line and feeling really good about it. So our final item for tonight, this one is actually on the opposite side. This is on Vanderbilt. Okay, here's a picture of the outside of the home. And pending no questions, staff recommends holding a public hearing and approving the authorization, or approving the resolution to authorize the sale of 806 to Miss Benita Person.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Berryman? Sure. Nobody? No questions? Nothing?
Thank you for all your work on this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
All right. Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open. Those who speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. First person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes.
Good evening, all. I'm
Good
Rochelle
evening.
Hobbs. You did save the best for last. Thank you so much. So Miss Person has a statement that she wants read. She is not apt to speaking in public, so I do want to read these few sentences on her behalf, and then I'll just say a quick word thereafter. So, today is an incredible milestone for me, becoming a first-time homeowner in my 60s. This moment represents decades of hard work, resilience, and unwavering dedication. It hasn't been an easy journey. I faced challenges, prioritized supporting my disabled adult child, and often put others' needs before my own. To finally hold the keys to my own home is more than just a personal accomplishment. It's a symbol of perseverance, sacrifice, and love. This home represents so much more than just a place to live. It's a symbol of everything I worked for, everything I've overcome, and the legacy I've built. It's a dream realized and proof that it's never too late to achieve something truly meaningful. I'm so proud and grateful to have reached this moment. So as her agent, I would just like to say this has definitely been a journey. It's been great. I always encourage my clients, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter about any of the obstacles or anything that has happened. If you have the goal, just persevere and continue to move forward. And I don't call her Miss Person, I just say Benita. So Benita has done just that and then some. I mean, if I call, she's like freaking out. What do I need to do? Do I need to meet you? Do I need to do this? And I'm like, okay, relax, we got it. But it just shows her intention, it shows her heart, and it shows the appreciation of being able to get to this point through everything that she has endured. My heart is elated for her. It's been worth every moment. It's been worth every conversation, every phone call, every meetup in the office, every what can I do for you? How can we get this done? It's worth every single second. So I'm super proud, thankful and grateful for you all to have put this together to allow people who never envisioned themselves to be homeowners to become homeowners. And I thought a couple years ago when my father passed, I don't think people think enough that being is becoming. So as long as you continue to be who you are, you continue to do all the things that you know is right to do, move towards your goals, you can become anything that you want to become. And she is becoming a homeowner, and I love that for her. Thank you all.
Thank you for your efforts on her behalf. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Anyone else that would like to speak on behalf of the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes. Seeing none, those in opposition to the applicant may come forward. Please state your name for the record. First person has 10 minutes. All others have 3 minutes. Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. Open for a board discussion or a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Councilmember Foreman, second by Mayor Pro Tem Daniels. Before we vote, I just want to say that I have had the pleasure to cross paths with Ms. Person. We have done business together. Ms. Person is an incredible person, and even at 60 years old, you can realize dreams that you've dreamt your entire life. And I think that it's a testament of the great things in this world, and I think you are an incredible person and well deserving of this opportunity. So I'm very thankful to know you. I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I hope you enjoy your brand new house. You're welcome. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
Congratulations. That is it.
That's wonderful.
That's it for the year.
All right.
Best public
City
hearings
manager's
ever.
report.
All right. Maybe y'all all been waiting for it as well. City manager report. This month's shout out will go to Ms. Tiana Berryman and the Neighborhood Business Services.
Oh,
So Neighborhood Business Services is a relatively new department. I mean, it was pulled from the planning department a couple of years ago, and Tiana has just done an outstanding job of getting it off the ground and moving it in the right direction. I feel so confident about the direction we're moving as a city, but I'm especially confident in some of the great things that we're doing and we're looking forward to within Neighborhood Business Services. And I'll use her words, it is a real hoot to work with you every single day, and Renee and everybody else in the department. So thank you for everything that you guys do. You're all awesome. You can be on this council for 100 years and never gets buried in the night. and what y'all just did. This is
That
what
was
it's all
pretty
about. For 4 families to have the dream of home ownership. It really does. It does represents what we're here for, collectively as a local government to make the members of our community's lives, their dreams come true. So congratulations to each one of y'all. And again, thank y'all for y'all's leadership, council's leadership in making this happen. It is that time of the year for New Year's resolutions, and I've got a lot of them. I've got a lot of plans over the next year to move forward this city council's goals and priorities, but I will say the top of that resolution should always be, from this day forward, to advocate for the infrastructure within our community. We do not want to be sitting here every single month having the discussions that we have had here tonight. And I think that we are a growing community. We are lucky to live in a community that has one of the best quality of lives in this whole entire state. Love this city dearly, and every single member of our community, all 100,000 of you. And we will continue to grow, and we deserve to be able to have our infrastructure grow with that. And so we collectively, both staff and city council, as well as all other local communities in the state, need to be advocating for the infrastructure within our communities, and we need to make sure that's at the top of our list moving forward. So in addition to that, it is Christmas, and I wish every single one of our employees, all 800 of you that work day in and day out behind the scenes to make this city safe for our community and to be moving it forward. And you do one heck of an outstanding job. Y'all are the best in the world. Love you dearly, and I hope each and every one of you have a very safe and happy Christmas and be able to spend time with your family and your friends. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Well said, Michael.
Attorney McGirt? Oh, he didn't see that coming.
He did. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays. And like the pastor said, I like his New Year's resolutions, try to lose some midsection.
If we can get the scullery to go down on some of their calories.
Nope.
Madam Clerk?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yes, just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone, but most especially to my staff, Danielle, who has had her sweet little baby, our new hire, Rhonda, and Crystal. Keep me going and straight all year long. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie.
And
welcome to Rhonda.
And if Tom is listening, make sure you get Valerie a very special Christmas gift this year.
Second that. Unanimous.
How about my wife, Pam?
And Pam, too.
And Dorothy.
And Dorothy.
And Dorothy.
That's right.
All right, let's start this way. Councilmember Robinson.
All right. I am so excited for Mrs. Coleman in London and the Braxtons and Mr. Wiggins and Mr. Person. I just can't tell you how excited I am for you to walk into your home, fix your meals, and sleep in your bed. And that is so awesome. And that is so special at this time of the year. So I'm like a little kid at Christmas bursting out for happiness for you. Congratulations to all of you. I can't say that enough because it's just got to be wonderful to know you're going to walk into your home next year. So congratulations to each of you. And it's especially good this time of the year to be able to do that because we're supposed to give. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody, to all our staff, to our employees, to the council members up here. We have spirited debates, as some of you have seen tonight, but we're all working with one goal in mind, and that is, as I always say, to grow Greenville greater. And so I'm so happy for everybody to be a part of this, and let's keep working towards 2025. My New Year's resolutions for this council, let's grow Greenville greater, and not just the east side or the west side, the north, south, east, and west, all sides. Let's don't neglect any part of our community, and we need to work together to make that done. I know we're going to do it for 2025, so I look forward to working with each of y'all. I ask everybody to open up your hearts, your wallets, your resources, your finances, and help those during the holiday season that need some help. We have people who are homeless, people who don't have clothing, people who don't have food. So dig deep. I mean, it's not the amount you give, it's the fact that you open up and do give your resources, your time, your energy. Keep everybody your thoughts and prayers, especially those who are having their first holiday without a loved one. Makes me think. And let's see. Also, we're in a bowl game. ECU, NC State. I know my house is divided, but cheer for ECU because it's our local team. And so with that, I wish all my family happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Look forward to seeing everybody at Christmas time and having some great food and fellowship. And I think with that, Mayor, I think I have covered all my touch bases. And thank you much for the opportunity to speak.
Good job. Councilmember Scully?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to ditto everything Councilmember Robinson said to the families here. So excited for you. That's why I signed up to do this, is to do these great things and help people out. And it's so gratifying and warms my heart so much to know that y'all are going to have your home of your very own that you can afford to enjoy. It's going to keep you safe and warm. Like I said, you're going to cook meals, have a great night's sleep. I mean, just, many, many blessings upon you and upon your homes, this year and always. I hope you'll all be blessed by those homes, and that you'll be a blessing to your community because of the strength and comfort that you feel inside your home. So congratulations. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone throughout our city, no matter what you're celebrating. I celebrate Christmas, but I know there's a lot of people that celebrate other things, so blessings to all of you. I hope this is a wonderful season for you. And Councilmember Robinson got me a little teary-eyed.
Me too.
It's going to be a hard Christmas for me. Lost my mom recently, and I know, I'm not alone in that. Holidays are hard for a lot of people because of the changes in our life. Because we lose people, circumstances change, people get sick. Bad things happen to good people every day. So just know that you're not alone, that there's people here that love you in this community that are praying for you. And reach out to your friends and family, the people around you, for help and for consolation and love. And I hope that you get the support that you need, the love that you need this time of year, and that you'll know that your loved one is in heaven. I believe that 100%, and I know that my mom's there, and I feel it everywhere I go, and I'm very thankful for that. Thankful for this group, for this community, for this city, for the wonderful employees that we have in this city, the wonderful citizens we have in this city. It's just a blessing to be here every day, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to serve, especially now, this time of year. So thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Wills?
Thank you, Mayor. Happy holidays to everyone. My prayer is that we all experience God's love, His joy, and His peace. Thank you to all of my peers on council and our city manager's office, our city attorney, our city clerk. It's been an awesome year, you guys. For me being new on council, it's a whole new experience, but so grateful for your offices and your guidance and your leadership, and especially the clerks keeping us straight. And I'm just so thankful to all of our 800 and some city employees, and just thinking about the departments that may not dial back during the holidays, but definitely are in demand and their jobs may intensify. I think about public safety and just different things, different departments that are definitely going to be in full force over the holidays and at New Year's. I wish everyone a happy New Year's and that everyone is safe. I look forward to seeing you all in the new year.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Councilmember Blackburn?
I appreciate everything that's been said. I can't really top that. I do have to say, this is undoubtedly the best public hearings I have ever experienced. And I wish we could do this every month. So thank you all so much for coming and for speaking so beautifully and for sharing your stories with us. It's been a very joyful evening
It is also important at all times of the year, but I think this particular time of year is a time when we reflect and when we try to sort of dig deep and try to be more generous than usual. And I think it's important for us to remember that every single human being has a right to housing, clothing, food, water, and health care. And when we see someone without one of these elements, we should never judge them or make assumptions about why that's true for them. Instead, what we should try to do is walk with them and try to help them obtain whatever is missing. And I believe that that is our responsibility as human beings. So that's my wish and my hope for our community and our world during this holiday season, as well as for myself. And just want to wish everyone the happiest holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Foreman.
Okay, well, I have dried my face.
I know, right?
I would like to concur with everything that my fellow council has stated thus far, and re-elevate that I would like for everyone to have a happy holiday, and that this has been a good year on council. As Councilman Robertson said, we don't always agree, but we do that respectfully, and I certainly appreciate that. And then for our new homeowners, I'm trying not to cry again. Everyone knows how much housing insecurity and food insecurity means to me. And what you all are accomplishing over this next month is an example of what true revitalization is. We use the word revitalization in our underserved communities all the time. But revitalization is when you build from within. And when whatever you build is actually passed on to people that are from that area that benefit from what is built. That is when it becomes revitalization rather than gentrification. And that is what you all are an example of tonight. I am so happy for you. I want to introduce myself to you as your council representative. And we'll give you all my phone number before you leave, so that as you're transitioning into your new homes, if you need anything, I'm there for you. It's a great example of revitalization and equity. So with that being said, have a happy holiday, and look forward to serving with all of you in 2025.
Very nice. Very nice. Mayor Pro Tem Daniels.
My turn. Same as what everyone else has said. Merry Christmas. Thank you to all the staff for all that you've done this year. Oh, Mr. Manager, I don't know if I've seen anybody work as hard as you do.
Agree.
Thank you for all of your hard work, late nights, early mornings. I don't think people realize what goes into what your office and all of your staff do, and for always answering the phone calls. I appreciate that. And all of our staff, all that you do. I want to thank especially the police department and the fire department for showing up to the Salvation Army this week. We were able to buy presents for 1,000 children in Pitt County, and when it got out of hand, they came and lent a helping hand, and I appreciate that very much. The homeowners, man, it's just congratulations again. I wish you all joy and peace and love in your homes every day that you reside there. It is a blessing because this economy, who would think, right? And you are all deserving of it. Your children are deserving of it. And I wish you years and years of happiness in those homes. I would like to share that the alumni chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority will be having Souls for Souls at the Shoe Carnival from 12 to 3 this Saturday. They'll be gifting young children with new shoes. It can be cash donations, carnival gift cards, or the brand new shoes you can bring for the donations. And again, congratulations to all the homeowners. Merry Christmas to all my colleagues on the council. Thank you all for being there, and it's been a pleasure working with you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. I would like to echo a lot of what our council just said. Congratulations to all the homeowners. It's awesome. This is a great day. This is the start to living out your dream of being homeowners, and I think it's amazing the hard work that our staff has put in to make this happen. So thank you to all of our staff for everything that you do to be able to go out and search for these grants, continue to lobby the federal government to get the CDBG and home funds to be able to make these opportunities happen. I think not every day do you get the gratification to see, your hard work play out in front of you, but today I think was one of those days, and I think the citizens of Greenville are able to see, the hard work that you put in. So congratulations to all of our staff. Congratulations to our homeowners. I don't think we could have picked a better time to be able to approve these than less than a couple of weeks to Christmas. So you guys are going to have outstanding experiences there. It's going to be, lots of memories in those houses, and I can't wait for you guys to start making those memories. So want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. Make sure you're safe, but most importantly, while you're out there, depending on who you are with, family, friends, make sure you make the most of those opportunities, right? You never know when it's the last time, right? Councilmember Scully, he's going to be thinking about those last times. I've been in that same situation, and many of us have been in that situation where we've lost a loved one. The most important thing about Christmas is not the gift you put underneath the Christmas tree. It's about those memories that you make with those individuals that you're spending the time with. So make sure you capitalize on that when you're out celebrating this season. So with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by
Everybody's
Councilmember
gonna second that
Blackburn,
one.
second by Councilmember Robinson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay.
Motion passes 6-0.
We are adjourned. Happy holidays.